Okay, it's not the BTSL, despite that really cool transition scene. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs, but we're gonna mute it because we're live. Hello, good morning. What's up, world? The world. It's Rifkin and Zombie Grub coming at you with the cast today. How are you doing today, Zombie Grub?
I'm okay.
That's good to hear.
Rushed. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a bit flustered. What ended up happening in your end? I told people it was technical problems. I didn't actually know what was going on.
No, it's just more like miscalculation. Gave myself an extra 20 minutes, and I used all of them up and then some.
Ah, okay. What were you doing?
Getting back from the on fire house. It took me an hour, and it should have taken me 30 minutes.
Ah, I see. Just chilling over there?
Yeah, they even like were talking about, just having me cast there, and I was like, well, as cool as that would be, it would be a bit awkward.
Yeah.
But
well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to be killing a few minutes here to talk about what's going on with VSL.
Oh, okay, you do that.
Well, what are you trying to get into?
The technicality of trying to get Terminator in this is beyond my reach, maybe? I don't know how to add him on Discord to the same call.
There's a way to do this.
Yeah, I don't know if I can direct call him, though. Like, maybe they'd be in a server?
Let's just throw him on Skype. Maybe it'll make it easier.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll worry about Terminator here in a moment. VSL stuff is what I really want to get talked about. Before any of that, though, I'm going to just absolutely shout out to you guys. We're going to do the reveal. I'm not going to tease you with this, okay? We're going to do the reveal of who's playing here in a moment. But it's live if you're watching this on June 2nd. It's 6:08 a.m. here on the west coast of Canada. And we're not casting the VSL, and you might be wondering why. And so are we, kind of. So we have been reaching out to the folks who work at VSL for a while now. And last season, they were really, really responsive and receptive, and we knew what was going on, and they were very good at communication with us. And then this season, they just didn't tell us anything at all. And I don't know if this was just like the fear of rejection, like they just didn't know how to say, oh, sorry, we don't want to work with you guys anymore, or what the deal is. But all community casts got cut for it. So not only is it no English streams, there's not going to be any Russian streams or French streams or any other streams, from what I understand. And I don't know their decision on why they chose to do it this way, but that's the way they've chosen to do it. And I mean, it's their tournament, so they can do what they like with it. You know, you don't have to always invite people if you don't want to. I think in their minds that by not having the other streams cover it, that they're going to get more viewership on their channel because the other people are going to be forced to go to one source for it, which might not be inaccurate. I think the average season broadcast was getting about 2,000, 2,500 for the Koreans. You add in another 2,000 from our English side and another like 500 to 1,000 from the Russian stream, and you have less overall people watching VSL this season, but more on the channel in which they're trying to build their viewership. So that's about all I really have for it. I don't know beyond that. So it's kind of just interesting seeing that they've made this decision for it. It does suck though, because Maynard and Zeph were ready to go and be dedicated and be awesome about casting it, and we had all these plans set up for it, and then they just kind of never got back to us, which sucks. What is VSL? It's the versus StarCraft League. It's Korean tournaments. What they do is they have like a single tournament that leads into like a team league. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool, but yeah, this is what they've chosen to do with it. So we got a response this morning at 4 a.m. So like less than 2 hours ago. Sorry, there's no plan for English stream this season. There'll be no community streams this season. So yeah, then there's some, what's going on here? Yeah, Maynard then asked about like if there's going to be a clean feed for an English stream, and they said only if there's enough demand for it. So this is the important part. We will look into it if there's a demand. Depending on the demand, we will work together. There's a lot of spelling errors here, but granted, they don't speak English. We'll work together for a formal arrangement and for future reference, blah, 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 blah. So by the looks of things, the only way you guys are going to get an English cast this season, whether it's us or otherwise, and again, like, I would love to do the VSL again, and I think it was a great opportunity for Maynard and Zeph to get to cast a bit more and cast on BaseTradeTV. But unless there's like, I think Reddit threads and Team Liquid threads and people emailing like demanding that there be an English stream, there's not going to be, and that's kind of all there really is to be said about it. That being said, we do have to get Terminator in here, so let me get him added to the call. You can see screen regions get all broken and a dude dressed in drag. Good profile picture. And did that just crash everything? Are you still with me? Hello?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, turn off your webcam. It's gonna screw things up. I love you.
Okay.
No, not zombie grub. Terminator.
Alright.
Alright. Terminator, for those who don't know what's going on here, he's a dude who... It's actually funny, through the VODs and through the rebroadcast, I made a joke about Terminator hacking his way onto the stream. Like, who's this dude? I don't know his face. And a lot of people thought like it was an actual hack. And I just read the YouTube comments and facepalmed so hard. For those who don't know what's going on, third dude on the call. Damn it, that screwed up the screen region again. Let me fix that. He's one of my Patreons, and if you guys don't know, Rifkin's got a really cool Patreon reward where once a month you can redeem the option to come live spectate, not just in game, but also if you want on Skype / Discord / whatever we're using for our audio at the time, so you can hear us, not just get some chit chat and silliness in the breaks, but also live commentary, because there's no point spectating the game live if you gotta wait 2.5 minutes to hear the commentary anyways. So that's Terminator. We'll give him some highs and some hellos, and we'll do some more stuff with him shortly. But it is time for the big reveal. Zombie Grub, are you ready to update the Match Arena page so we can like tell people to go check it out shamelessly?
Almost.
Okay.
It should be good now.
Okay, well, while Zombie Grub updates that, first off, you guys can see we're already at $543 raised today. That's fucking awesome. We'll talk about that more in a moment, but if the thing has been done correctly, by typing !Match Arena on chat, it'll take you to the page, and it should be updating the banner with the person who is in fact playing and competing today, and more importantly is the newest member. Well, I guess technically already is, but I was gonna say going to be the newest member of Team Looking for Team.
How did that not work?
I see
Amazing.
a broken image link. You've absolutely outdone yourself. Well done.
I know, right?
Well met. All right, well, here, let me show you guys other stuff while she fails with it, right? So here's the thing. Down here, DreamHack tickets. We talked about this. We're going to keep talking about this. We want to sell as many of these as we can, because the more of these we sell, the more we're going to have the options to do at DreamHack Atlanta. If you guys missed the memo on this one, BaseTradeTV is bringing StarCraft 2 to DreamHack Atlanta. DreamHack Atlanta, which originally had no plans to do StarCraft at all, is now getting some love from us. And we're going to work together with them in, I think, a really fun partnership to make a tournament. Right now, it's the bare minimum of bare minimums. It's a $5,000 bring your own computer tournament. But we're looking to make that bigger and better, and things like ticket sales can help that. That being said, even if you're not convinced that like passion alone should convince you to buy these tickets, these are discounted like 20% off of the tickets you would buy through the main DreamHack website. There's the general admission as well as the competitor pass. Furthered by the fact that 50% of this purchase will go towards prizing and helping events here on Match Arena through whatever we're selling it on. So get your DreamHack tickets while you can. The other small thing to note about today, you'll see the description. I'm not trying to bamboozle anybody. We're doing $600 for an even split between these two players, right? Beyond $600, and I hope we can go beyond $600. That would be so sick. But beyond $600, half of it's going to go towards the Mega Tournament fundraiser. Half of it's going to go towards the players. So, for example, let's say the prize will ends up being $700. Then that extra $50 will be put in towards the Mega Tournament fundraiser, and each player will get $25 more. I know that this may not be how you guys want things to be done, but it's how we're going to handle it. So we're going to try and get this up to $600 as quick as we can, just to guarantee that the players will get the most money possible, $300 each. And then after that, it's just a little bit of love for everybody. The Mega Tournament fundraiser combined with the players. Can I refresh? Will the reveal work this time?
Nothing's working. So here's the problem.
I'm gonna go make a banner while you do this for backup.
I could send you the banner, but the problem is that Imgur is over capacity and has been. So
you can't upload to Imgur? That's the problem?
I cannot upload it, exactly. And anything else that I try and upload it to, I guess doesn't work with Matcherino. Like I tried Tiny Pick and IZV and shit, and I guess because it links to a gallery instead. I don't know.
This has been the greatest reveal of all time. All right, hang on. I got this. Open image for computer. Maybe it's just Korea can't upload. I don't know. Let me.
I mean, I literally have links, right? But they don't include Korea in it.
I'm making the best backup ever. Now, I'm actually a little bit sad because while I fiddle with this, we had done some video content for this particular player that we're about to announce, right? But unfortunately, it got sent to us really, really late, and I just didn't have the energy in me to stay up all night editing and cast this, so I'm a little bit bummed. I'm a little bit bummed about that, but not the end of the world. I see what's happening here. Okay, so you upload to Imgur, it goes no problem, but then it's like, zoinks, you've taken a wrong turn, and then the image breaks. That's what you're talking about?
For Imgur?
Yeah.
It's not uploaded. So, like, you just go to Imgur right now, and it's like, hey, it's not here.
Hang on. New post. Browse. I mean, it says it's,
What do you mean upload failed, you son of a...
I mean, it seems like it's working on my end. Let me just try adding this to the Match Arena thing. Yeah, okay. Well, it worked for me when I uploaded it. Okay, so here's the big reveal, guys. Do you see the picture I uploaded?
I did, yes.
It's Scarlet! Just kidding! It's Major! AKA SpeCial.
Hey.
So you're going to have a ZvT today that's going to be a best of 7. Say when ready. God damn, this was like a lot more difficult to set up than it should have been. But I do want to point out, Major is actually not going by Major, like in every actual factual way possible. I have a bunch of raw footage I guess I could show you guys if we really wanted to, but I had hoped to do this like sort of The Office style interview with him. We'd show you guys the video. You guys could watch it kind of a little bit easily. However, that's not going to happen because of, again, time delays and some video delay stuff. So let me explain really quick. Major, as you know him, is trying to actually reform under the name SpeCial. This wasn't just like a once-off thing for WCS, and it's not like the many times he's changed his name to have like a Pokemon name, right? Because God knows we've seen that enough times. He actually wants to be taken seriously this year. A big part of this was changing his name to get a new, like a fresh, new, clean slate. So, we know Major in the past has been flaky, and Major in the past has been hopping from team to team and being all sorts of silly. SpeCial, however, is looking for a way to sustainably stay in Korea, continue to train, become a better player than he could ever possibly be back home in Mexico. And part of that is going to be our support through paying him a bit to be on the team. And part of it is because he's looking for what is exactly what we have here, a transitionary team, in hopes that a bigger team will pick him up now that they're aware perhaps that he's a bit more serious or that he's actually, well, frankly, looking for a team. So, without further ado, in the top left, ladies and gentlemen, everybody give a big warm welcome to our Blue Terran player, SpeCial.
On the bottom right, as the red Zerg, he is ByuL.
Now, of course, we love ByuL. Poor guy was actually really emotional after having lost SSL the other night. And I told him, look, you know it's always going to feel good? Crushing somebody in a show match. So just like, you know, take a deep breath, relax, and we'll see you tomorrow. And he was actually, I don't know if that actually cheered him up or if he was just like writing smileys because he didn't know what better to write. But hopefully he's actually a bit stoked for today. I know that he was looking for a quick pick-me-up, though, because that series versus Solar is pretty close. But SpeCial doesn't want to give him any room to breathe with this 3-racks opener.
I gotta say that I think this is just... I mean, this might be what SpeCial wants to do. I think the last time we cast SpeCial, he was also doing, like, a bit of cheese, right? But I think there also might be some influence, as that was like literally just there, where they were both watching, both as in Scarlet, coincidentally, I guess, right? Not Scarlet, but Major. Scarlet and SpeCial were both watching VSL. And I guess there's a lot of 3x Reaper from ByuL, so maybe this is some, like, influence. He got inspired. It's coming back.
Well, I think that this was actually one of the things we saw him do before anyways, prior to VSL-related events,
Right.
because this map, you get that perfect 3 wall-off, you can command center behind it, and there's no real danger from ByuL counterattacking. Unless ByuL himself was going for something like a Ravager rush in the first place, there's just no way these Lings would ever, even with speed, cause enough damage to punish him back at home. Having taken that third base out of ByuL is going to hurt a little bit too, but he does have plenty of Lings on the way. The downside is speed is just very, very far off.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's always been about, really, like, how much damage can you get to put you ahead, which, yeah, sometimes would end the game very shortly after, like, 5-6 minute games, but more likely would lead into some sort of a macro game, into just, like, a really good position for the Terran if everything went well. Already lost a Reaper, though, so, I mean, that's not so great.
If he gets the Queen, that'd be nice, but not quite going to happen. No Dragon Slaying, as speed's about to finish up here in 10 seconds. Well, a little over 10 seconds, 13, whatever. Point is, speed is finishing up, and that's going to give ByuL the opportunity to try and get on top of these Reapers. Now, if you guys have been watching ByuL, if you've been watching some of the broadcasts of ByuL, you're seeing things like the Bounce House highlight specials, and his Reaper control can be sometimes out of this world, but SpeCial is not too bad with it either. However, oh, he gets surrendered right off the bat. So forget that. This was a terrible start for him, and he's just going to lose all the Reapers.
Okay, well,
Not how that was supposed to go.
it's not so good. Yeah, that's quite disappointing. He doesn't have much going for him back at home. I mean, there's the second command center finally finishing up, but even, like, the barracks is lifted right here, which the Overlord clearly sees. He really was taking a chance there by bringing all of his Reapers back home, but it barely works.
Yeah. Well, SpeCial starting a stim and everything is scary because, like, yeah, you need that timing and it's off. But more to the point, you've just got the on the outside of the wall. This is never gonna feel good, never gonna feel comfortable. You kind of wasted all this space in the main. It feels bad, man. I will also note too, I guess we didn't really bring this up, but because he went so heavy into Reapers and they absolutely did not pay off, now he's in a really tough spot with his factory heavily delayed. Means his starport will also be delayed.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse on that timing with a third CC. Obviously, like, it's give and take here, but with the, like, at least it's somewhat of an okay starport timing. You're gonna start applying pressure again. I mean, the Reapers are really start to last, like, they're supposed to last a lot longer. Even if they're finally pushed back just because there's roaches or, like, enough speedlings, they can, like, kind of hover around the map and constantly threaten. That's just not the case here. God.
Leaving the depot down, big mistake. Reapers will clean up the low ground, but now there's Lings actually in that mineral line. SCVs have to get pulled. Could try to go to stim for maybe if he was really desperate, but no, looks like ByuL's going to back away from this. The SCV handling here is also really, really good at SpeCial. In fact, a grand total of 0 died through that. That's really impressive.
Damn. All right, well.
Here comes round 2,
Good
though.
thing. Yeah, well, a lot more Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers, and, of course, the vulnerable supply depots, but also a pretty vulnerable tech lab that, okay, Stim might finish, but combat shields will not, and that could be a point of attack for ByuL.
Chat pointing out that this is a looking for team kill. This name for the team just gets better and better.
Looking for team kill.
I'm actually super stoked. My jersey is supposed to arrive sometime this week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I brought the one that was super small for me. Signed. Okay, so Stim, as I said, finished, but combat shields have to be started, like, somewhere else, which unfortunately right now is, like, nowhere else. He only has 3 barracks, and the other 2 have reactors on them.
Yeah, but you know, he got the medevacs out, and right now, that's probably a lot more important than anything else, because this gives him the option to actually fight, to actually stim. But losing the barracks, losing the tech lab, losing that front line, it's going to be sore no matter how you look at it. So SCV's getting pulled into the action. Marines stimmed and stuttered. They're actually being handled really well here. A lot of the Lings die before any of the Marines go down. And the SCVs may have been a little preemptively pulled. He's dedicating to it really hard too. But all these Ravagers are going to die. The Reapers, if not the Marines, will chase these down.
Okay, it's better than it could have been, but still only on 2 bases and losing that many SCVs in mining time.
Yeah.
These Marines and medevacs have to really do something special, which they do have the potential.
I agree, but it is worth just bringing up that, you know, ByuL cut drones a while ago for this. 45 workers isn't bad, but it's 45 on 3 bases. This base is barely mining.
But yeah. That's quite a sturdy army that ByuL has, though. So, like, I mean, he's still making more roaches because he just simply lost all of them, and ravages included. But I feel like he should, like, if he splits well, and I believe that he would, like, the drones will come basically faster than specials, SCVs, or, you know, third CC, right? Which he's really gonna have a tough time affording. He might just continue on 2 bases and try and lift the main command center, but it's like a long time coming, and that's a maybe. But ByuL, pretty well known for these Ling counterattacks, gonna be difficult to deal with.
Oh, I like that
At least
Umbrella
special
on the
notice.
Widowmine. I really like the Umbrella on the Widowmine.
Yeah. That's still not quite enough, though, and that, you know, there's really not a lot of production for special. Like, this many barracks and then a factory and a starport, which the Liberator's trying to help out versus Lings, but that's not a lot.
Yeah, the factory, or not the factory, oh! The barracks getting picked off on that front line really was more than just a wall, it was his production line. He does set up so there's not a lot of follow-up to this. Widowmine here gets a decent shot on the Ravagers, too, but yeah, Special might just be at a loss here for actual units on the field to fight with.
Yeah, I think it's a loss in general. I mean, he had a pretty disastrous, might be a little too strong of a word, but a pretty bad opener with the 3 racks not going the way that he wanted, and it was going to be an uphill climb from there.
I don't think disastrous is too inappropriate of a word. You go for 3 racks Reaper like that, it has to do damage, and that did not do damage.
Yeah.
By the way, big thank yous to the contributors for today's prize pool. We got Laser SCQ hitting us up with $16 to the prize, saying, team looking for team's special supply drop. ByuL's away. I like, you just kind of gave up and then you're like, screw it, I'll find something fun. We'll just put it in. Tom hit us up for a 10-month resub. Artanis, you're loud. God damn. Tom KD, thank you for the $10 contribution. Me Green 831 does $6, and Higgins and Cookie Monster throwing $2 each. Nice. Partouf hitting us up for 44 months. Partouf is actually not our longest sub of all time, but he's like our 2nd longest sub of all time. I don't know. There is somebody above him on that list. I got to go look it up. But Partouf, my man, 44 freaking months. We've got a currency named after you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for that resub.
So, do you want the actual banner, or do you, like, I don't think it'll top that other banner that you made.
You know what? I'll leave it at your discretion. You pick and choose.
I mean, the only reason I think mine is funny is just like, and that's what sucks, like, it was an instant change, is that it's just not at all close to the
silhouette.
The silhouette. Like, it was actually kind of difficult getting the cutouts, but I don't know, Chad, what do you want? A real picture, or
I kind of like
beautiful picture?
It is a beautiful, beautiful picture. Don't you dare say otherwise.
I took so much time cutting out Special's beautiful face, but I don't know if I can top that.
By the way, I guess the bait and switch came from, we kind of teased at a new player coming in, and a lot of folks have been like, is it Scarlet? I'm like, yes. Yes, it may just be Scarlet, because she's definitely looking for a team right now and not comfortably sitting on Expert. Yes, guys. So we just started teasing with it like, we don't know who he or she might be, but you guys should look forward to it. It's funny, though, because that was very clearly, to me, Scarlet's silhouette that you would cut out, but a lot of people were guessing a classic.
Yeah, I was surprised by that as well. I mean, obviously I was the one that cut it out, but I thought that was like a pretty identifiable. I don't know. It was from GSL, so I'm obviously very biased, but I'm with you. I thought it'd be different.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in the best of 7 show match. Introducing our newest member of the team, but also the blue Terran in the top right. It's SpeCial.
On the bottom left, there's the red Zerg. He is ByuL.
Now, to actually talk about SpeCial a bit further, he's going to do this again. I think this is perfectly acceptable for the map. But if this fails again, we're going to slap him. Be like, you know what, dude? Get your shit together. People are asking, why support this guy? Why is he? There's so many better players out there. Koreans that need help. Blah blah blah. What's so special about SpeCial? Well, there's a couple of things. First up, he's staying in the BaseTradeTV team house. You can't help but love him for that. There's already the fact that he's involved with us one way or the other. Secondly, this is a foreigner who got to GSL. Do you know how few people have done that? This guy is absolutely worth your admiration, even if you don't believe so because he hasn't won a GSL. Like, hello? How many other Koreans haven't won a GSL? SpeCial is top tier, in my opinion, as far as candidates to play with.
I was like, ByuL has it.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, literally one person has, is my point. So, for SpeCial, there's all these reasons I could make objective for this, that, and the other. But the one that really caught me off guard, and this is why this is happening, is he reached out to us. Just simply said, hey, I'm actually looking for a team. Can you guys help me out? Can we make something happen? I'm having a tough time staying in Korea. It's more expensive than I thought it would be, and I want to continue to train. So the thing is, without our help, would SpeCial have to go back to Mexico and not stay in Korea to train? I honestly don't know. But with our help, we guarantee that he doesn't have to.
Yeah, he's doing really well, actually. Everyone says he's the hardest worker and truly easy to live with, so it's the good news.
Actually, I guess some fun facts about him while he starts this Reaper harass. A lot of folks were concerned when he initially wanted to come to Korea that, like, oh, he'd be messy or he wouldn't have a good practice regimen. He's just looking for a vacation, right? But it is very clear after talking to members of the house, both past and present, you know, speaking with Drogo and other people at DreamHack too, everyone agrees unanimously, Major, aka SpeCial, is like the hardest working player, especially at training and improving and practicing. Which just shocked me, but it's cool to know. And that's a big part of why I think we were willing to give him this chance, this opportunity. Yeah,
I think he's really proven himself to be a different guy than it was like 2 or 3 years ago whenever he was like back in Korea, back in Pro League, man. That was a long time ago. But we do have the Reaper harassment starting to come up a little bit. Maybe he does save that one Reaper, and this is really important. You know, in the last game, it was of course the time that he got surrounded that was truly bad. But even then, like, he lost one of his very first Reapers, which really takes away a lot of the momentum from it. So, still barely keeping it alive. Almost got a queen. Loses one there.
His trading's much better this game, but it's still not much. I mean, the thing is, yeah, he didn't actually kill a queen. He hasn't really gotten to the drone line, and the concern is, I guess, he at least keeps the Reapers alive this time around, but the same problems present themselves, right? The factory's later, everything gets shut down and delayed. At least this time the tech labs are on the right side of the wall.
Yeah, tearing things.
Just tearing things.
Yeah. Well, it certainly makes you feel a lot more comfortable, I think, to have this many Reapers protecting. Yeah, it is a little bit too bold to just have them out in the middle of the map. Although, with this many Reapers, I think they could tango with most Ling groups. Now, okay, he's going to go ahead and try and move out and do something. ByuL sees this coming, though, as he already took the Xel'Nagas. Maybe he could have set up a trap, but decides to go back home.
Why wouldn't Fear Dragon date Rifkin? They're both living their passions out every single day. Well, there's a very simple solution to that, and that's Fear Dragon doesn't eat meat, so he could never have mine.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
Neither should I.
But I like it.
Whoa, zombie group, calm down.
I mean, I just said that I said I like what you said, and you didn't. You said you didn't. Shut up.
but Baka.
Shut up. Okay, well. The Reapers still live, which is important, you know. There was a very scary time when they get surrounded, but at this number, there's enough grenades that, you know, yeah, you can still get surrounded, you can still die, but hopefully there's an escape path somewhere. And this tiny amount of pressure is actually, like, huge, you know. It's way different than the last game where the SpeCial really immediately lost control of the game. But now at least ByuL is sweating a little bit and having to, you know, stay back on his side of the map, not trying to do those counterattacks, not trying to follow up with the Roach Ravager attack, and SpeCial's allowed to do whatever he needs.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point to this, too, because the Reapers, I still think there should have been a similar follow-up to it, but I'm thinking this one has a lot more to do with the fact that it's sequencer. The map's a lot longer, we got a giant party going on, everybody jump, 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 but unfortunately the Reapers are ultimately just going to die. And that trade-off was rough. 9 Reapers, 23 Lings. This has not exactly been worth it for our Terran.
Yeah, that's true, but we'll see what this follow-up can do. I mean, because I feel like the Reapers, like, yes, it is way better for them to get a lot of queens or, like, sort of just kill drones. But I also feel like if they don't do much, but they stay alive and they do pressure, it still allows the follow-up from the Terran, whether it's 3cc or 2 medevacs, you know, pretty, like, quicker, to maybe do something. And that's where really the test comes down to. This isn't going to do very much. 2 medevacs usually never do, but maybe it'll stop the creep from advancing. Actually, not much creep. So, not even something they need to do. They don't have combat shields, but there's no banelings, so they can tango with the lings for a certain amount of time. But once those queens start targeting the medevacs, you should just get out of there.
Yeah, a little bit too close to the edge of the creep. This is one of the shortcomings of the Reapers, I feel, from early on, by the way. No, they didn't cause a lot of game-ending damage, and they sometimes do, but they also didn't really stop any of the creep spread, and I think that's my favorite thing about watching Reapers, usually the proxied version, of course, but you just throw down those tumors, grenades on the tumors, you deny the spread, and you don't actually have anything out there whatsoever, but ByuL actually has some pretty good creep spread connecting all of his bases.
It's getting there, I think. Like, the queens have been busy, or freshly made, like whatever one, and they're even maybe stocking up on transfuses, because there's really only like 3 active creep tumors. That's obviously not a lot of energy, but that's something that SpeCial is going to be hitting pretty hard, like right here exactly, and if the creep spread can't get over this plateau, it can be difficult for the Zergs to hold. I get 2 more medevacs coming to the left side. Zelnaga, unfortunately, is taken by ByuL, though, so... it includes Widow Mines, which might be kind of a surprise factor that could turn it into something that can do a lot of damage, but, you know, ByuL, only with those lings, I guess targeting the medevacs. SpeCial's still gonna try and go for it. Yeah.
A little bit too risky.
If they're a second out of position, if those lings, like, he doesn't move them over to the medevacs fast enough, then unloading can be a real pain to deal with without banelings. And his banelings are all over to the right side, but he was on top of it. Quick cancel on the 4th, though.
Well,
it's kind of bold from ByuL.
I agree with that, but unfortunate is going to be the fact that the mutas are about out, and SpeCial's had a lot of freedom with these medevacs that he's about to lose.
That is certainly true. ByuL, you know, he's not even falling behind on upgrades, even though he has gone for, like, the single upgrade at a time. I guess maybe he felt, like, a little bit behind. We'll see what happens with the +2/+2. But the point is, like, because SpeCial also didn't go for double engineering bays, it's actually quite nice. And as he said, these mutas making it difficult to retreat, push him entirely back.
He leaves one of the medevacs behind to attempt to be bait, which I thought was kind of a cool move. I enjoyed that, but ultimately ByuL will kill all of them. Relentless.
Yeah. And ByuL, like, you know, now that he's pushed SpeCial back so far, his mutas don't have to be stuck at home defending. Like, they can actually do this, which is attacking into the mineral line, which ideally you just never let happen. Like, you don't need missile turrets because ideally the mutas are just dealing with your push, but not the case in this game. And if you lose momentum and control of the map on Sequencer, it's a pretty long map. It's really hard to gain it back. So the best way to play might be to just kind of, like, very conservative for SpeCial, basically. Like, get to a very, very good army, like maybe Drilling Claws, maybe a couple of Thors, and then push out, because, like, a constant rally isn't going to work anymore.
Yeah, Thors are a lot more desirable than they ever were before with that base armor increase, but I just want to note how quick he was to the reaction time there. Thank you, Bacon, here for poking the bit boss. He even target fired to the mutas. He got a muta at that watchtower for the cost of his marines in the medevac. Like, SpeCial is paying attention in a lot of ways, but let's not forget, this is like a macro game coming from the backside of, like, a really, I'm gonna call it failed Reaper opener, right?
Yeah, it's not, you can't use Disastrous for it, but I think it is like a failure. Like, it's gotten like a 50 out of 60 or whatever the fail rate is. 50 out of 100.
Yeah, so, I mean, in one hand, like, it does force ByuL to not get away with greed. He doesn't get to just drone aimlessly in the early game. Like, he has to build all those lings. He has to respond to the Reapers, but I don't know that that's enough damage to be like, yep, this was worth warranting, like, a whole 3 racks dedication.
Sequencer could be bad news if SpeCial lets his marines drop out like that again. I mean, it's usually unlikely that the Zerg player, like, if they're playing a macro game, right, like, they're getting 2/2, they're getting mutas, they're expanding to a 4th base, it's unlikely that they're going to have their entire army, like, literally in front of you. But if they have the momentum, if they know they are in a good position, then it could be possible. And some of the ways the AI works on Sequencer can actually totally wreck your day. Like, 20 marines go off to the left for some reason, and that's a big chunk to lose. And ByuL is the type of guy that has units out on the field, but they're not here, they're hiding in the top left, which SpeCial, he, like, put a marine over there and saw a single ling. And he has Widow Mines, but ByuL's doing a good job taking them out.
Yeah, baiting them 1 or 2 at a time. Nothing in the main. Feels bad. But while this goes on, let's not forget that SpeCial's got a really big attack force of his own on the other corner of the map. So, yes, this here is maybe a problem. Oh, this Widow Mine. Is the timing on this going to be perfect?
Oh, it's perfect. Oh, my God.
That's a 19-kill Widow Mine. Holds on in the natural base 2 with the turret. Marines chase this off. He's going to lose some here on the third, but while this goes on, SpeCial's now free to push.
Is this a strong enough army, though? I mean, the army size are even, but with creep spread and just, you know, if the splash doesn't work out from the Widow Mines, it could really not even look that way.
A little bit worried he wasn't paying attention there. He's got some more Widow Mines he can burn and retreat past, of course, but hopefully not distracted too much by the mutas, because looking away at the wrong time for just a few moments could really cost him. But this is now a dangerous period of the game for ByuL in a weird way, right? Even though he's got the map control and he's the one dealing damage on the other side, he's now transitioning the Hive. He's trying to get to that Ultralist tech, and every Zerg player, this is their weak spot. This is their Achilles heel. Yeah. This is where the game usually falls apart on them.
I don't know if it's Ultralisk, by the way. He made 7 Corruptors, kind of like when the Muta harassment was going on, so it didn't really make note. And he's making more, but that's, I mean, the timing's kind of similar, I suppose. You already have a Spire. Spire is a greater Spire. Ultra's Govern has to get chitinous plating, otherwise it's kind of useless, but it is an interesting choice.
This is actually really cool for me. I like this a lot for a lot of different reasons, and one of them is just like going back to Snoot. Snoot would actually do Broodlords on purpose, like, and not do Ultras. The other part of it too is like the Corruptors, they have upgrades from the Mutalisks, right? They don't go down very easily. They can float above the Marines for a considerable amount of time, as we just witnessed, and shoot the Medivacs down.
Yeah, this isn't so bad. I mean, SpeCial really is applying a lot of good pressure, but at some point, he has to actually.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he has to do something more than even just killing a base. Actually, like ByuL has quite a bank, and he's playing kind of defensive. Yeah, he's not on like so many bases, just barely getting to his 5th right now with this one on this base. But he definitely has room to take a couple of losses, and SpeCial really doesn't. He's still on 3 bases. His main's highly mined out.
Rest in peace, Hero Widow Mine. I think got like 10 Banelings. The Bailey number's been shaved down from 58 to 26, though, and with good control and baiting off of creep, SpeCial's been able to take some pretty good engagements down here. While this goes on, the link counterattacks are non-existent. The mutas are just kind of idling around that 4th, and a lot of focus for both players is going into this base.
Oh, we'll go with that. What am I reached, man? Even more coming forward, too. Starting to run out of Medivacs, potentially, though, as these Corruptors go forward.
But, and ByuL's starting to run out of Banlings, so I don't know who's going to hurt more from this.
Yeah. I think those mutas are just chilling in the top right, by the way. Yeah, I thought they were linked. They literally weren't moving.
He brought the command center too, though. That's the best part of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're kind of forgotten about, so I hope that doesn't burn down. That is his main.
It's dead.
But
command center dies.
Oh, man. Well, even with the command center, I think that SpeCial's time has already passed. Like, as I said, he had to do more than even get the base, and he's not getting the base. So while it looks like he's trading, there are Ultras and Broodlords. Well, not Broodlords, but those Ultras on the way.
Well, so that's where I get a little bit like asterisky with the Ultralist, right? Like, okay, now the base goes down. It was great trades for a lot of Banelings. And those Ultras, when they pop, they're going to only really have Corruptor support.
I think that'll be enough, though. It's actually kind of questionable. Like, all the Widow Mines survived, which is quite uncommon. Usually they're cleaned up by Baneling Splash, or just, they have an Overseer, right?
Yeah.
If they all splash, like, the Banelings and even some Ultras, that will certainly help. They have Corruptors, actually.
He focused them on the Corruptors, too, which I think is kind of cool. There was drones, there was Ultras, there's a lot of things he could have got shot on. But Chitinous Plating's not done yet. 3-3's not done yet. SpeCial's got a little bit more time to get some very serious damage done.
Oh, he's making it pretty close, but so many upgrades are about to finish. If ByuL loses, this would be a perfect timing.
Oh, my God. Well, the Ultras, of course, are going to have that upgrade here in 3, 2, 1, but a lot of damage goes into it before that.
That transfuse too, and ByuL, like, even if he did lose that 5th plus this 3rd,
okay, that was actually a really good game out of our Terran. Because what I want to go back to before we actually leave the game, over here with those AFK mutas, right? I don't think that was an intentional move out of ByuL, but I think that game only just ended because there was no base mining from this. If this base was mining, I think this game continues and doesn't end right there. So like the power of AFK mutas, like, they may have accidentally been the MVPs of that game. Regardless, though, thank you guys for watching the show so far. Of course, we are gonna give a big shout out to The Way Out Is Through. threw $17 into the prize pool saying, "For the swarm," with a heart. Of course, we have a lot of codes left and available, so if you guys don't know how Match Arena works, let me show you real quick. Maybe it's your first time tuning in for a Match Arena event, and that's okay. Because we're going to go to commercial break in a moment, but before we do, if you go to Match Arena, actually let me sign out, right? This is totally fresh. This is the first time you see the page. Sign in with your Twitch account. It'll do it automatically. Boom. Easy peasy. Hit donate. You use the code LFT, and it'll add $1 to the prize pool, and it won't cost you anything. It comes out of Match Arena's pocket. You don't have to give them any of your payment information. No credit card BS. It's a great way to help increase the prize pool for the players without costing you anything. So please consider heading over to the page. And at the very least, just taking a couple seconds out of your day. Because while we have already hit $600, and this guarantees both players will now walk away today with $300 in their pocket, at least we do want to raise that up higher if we can. But a small commercial break, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll see you for Game 3 when we get back. Hello, folks. Thank you for waiting through that break. ByuL needed just a moment, and looks like we're still waiting on him, so it just takes a breath. He's winning too hard. His palms are sweaty, knees are heavy, mom's spaghetti, something like that. But we have seen that prize will jump up even further now. $630 as we speak, so you guys are actually using the codes. Awesome stuff. Because, again, Match Arena, they're like, for them, they're like, great, if you use all 100 codes, that's exactly what we budgeted. But if we don't, then it's just wasted money. Because, that, you know, we don't get, they're not just going to like, oh, you only use 78 codes. Yeah, we'll add in the extra $22. No. We got to use up all the codes if we want all the money, guys. But, of course, we'll be getting to this as soon as ByuL is good to go. Now, I do want to quickly talk about this next game. Again, one of the cool benefits to being a major Patreon supporter to myself is the ability to spectate in game, because Terminator is literally like, I've had multiple people come and go at the tier in which we could do this. Terminator is the only one who regularly claims this prize. We'll call it a prize, quote unquote. It's more like a service. We love treating him a little bit special, so we're gonna give him the intro. We're gonna let him introduce one of the players in this next game. Do you have a preference, dude? Do you want to introduce SpeCial or ByuL?
I'll do special.
Okay, he'll do special Zombie Group, since she can't hear him, by the way.
Okay.
There we go. He's ready. So if you guys are just joining us on the broadcast, it is the best of 7. It is currently 2-0 in the favor of ByuL, and SpeCial, also known as Major, is in a bit of a bind. But we've seen 2 different games where he went 3 Racks Reaper with 2 very different, not results, I guess, but like in terms of score, but results in terms of like in game.
Yeah, yeah. Talk more about that actually. Who is he gonna introduce?
He's gonna introduce SpeCial.
Yeah, that's what I thought it said. I got it. It's fine.
You got it.
I introduced the first player. Yeah. There's actually like, I think there's still quite a bit to talk about. Of course.
Oh.
I think waiting until 3 racks is gonna be, or not 3 racks rather. What?
I now understand why we're getting Fury Dragon memes. I forgot to change your name on the overlay to Zombie Grub.
Oh yeah, I figured that was the case.
I didn't realize that at all. But okay, folks, like we said, we're gonna have a bit of a fun intro here for our guest. But before that, Zombie Grub, would you start us off?
Yeah, in the bottom right, as the red Zerg, he is ByuL.
And in the top left, he is the blue Terran looking for that calcified speed force.
No, leave.
SpeCial.
No, just leave. Get off the call. You're banned. You're banned for life. You do not bring calcified Speed Force memes to this stream. This is my safe space. This is my no Nate space, Terminator. How dare you? How dare you? Clip this and send it to Nate. How dare you? Anyways, ByuL is of course up 2-0. It's a tough spot for SpeCial, but score is more for, I think, personal gain than anything else. The prize pool is split 50-50 for those who haven't seen, as we want to make sure both the players on our team are getting the most dollar value they can out of this show match. Also, this is really cool because this is now three days in a row of 3 Match Arena events where we raised over $600 for each prize pool. I was actually really surprised the North American one went so high. That was Game Time versus Peely Peely. Of course, you weren't here for that, but that thing blew up quick. That started at $100 and ended up at like $650 something. I don't remember. It was crazy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was in the air. I knew it happened. Saw it coming. I heard about it after, but I didn't hear the prize pool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
By the way, I see Sasha Esport in chat listing all of Major's old aliases. Again, a big part of why he's chosen SpeCial, and this is not just like because he's special. He does want to actually start like a new, if that makes sense. Like in the past, he's been a really flaky player with like a million different names and aliases, and honestly has been whatever for teams. He really wants, like, I don't know if he just decided to grow up or what the deal is, but a big part of this, and he's said it himself, and he had said it in some video content we had hoped to have ready for today, is he wants this time to be the last time. Like, he wants people to actually respect him. He wants to have the ability to join a team and play super, super competitively, and not just constantly change his name around while playing Pokemon.
Yes. He still plays Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
And he even puts the battle music on when he showers. But
I did not know that. How did you find this out, Zombie Grove?
For some reason, they were very insistent on taking a shower before we went out to the movies. So I was like, why is there music coming from the bathroom? And it's a very common thing for him.
Oh my god, I love this idea too, because they have like rain effects and stuff in Pokemon now. I love the idea of just thinking Major's like, great, now there's a water effect, so my water Pokemon are more effective while I soap up and lather.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but the guy loves his Pokemon. Different build this game, so I kind of mentioned before the whole intro thing, like, you sure there's a lot to talk about with the past two games, but really, like, what we talk about is going to be vastly different between if he does a 3-racks again, or something different, and he does something different. It's still an aggressive opener, but obviously not on one base, 2-base Hellbat attack.
Yeah.
ByuL expect it.
It's something that can hit really hard, and I kind of feel like you look at this from a distance, and it feels like, oh, this is a cheesy Terran player who can't stand up to the Zerg, so he's getting desperate. But I actually think this is kind of a cool move to do as a follow-up to 3-racks, because ByuL really wouldn't be expecting this.
It's completely different timings, of course. Yeah, you think you're all nice and safe when you see no 3-racks, and then maybe you just think of the macro game, right? Like, not the in-betweens.
He very importantly cleared up the Overlord back at home, so there was no scouting on this. I mean, this one now sees it here, of course, right? But
yeah. There's always that, like, if it's Hellions, there's always like a little bit of a suspicion, but you really, like, you need Lings to at least buffer. Like, Queens and a Concave are okay, as they're going to try and target down this medevac, but there needs to be some Lings
I love this.
out here.
So a lot of the times we see this attack, everything just goes straight for the Queens. He actually takes a brief second to reposition himself and clean off all the Lings. Now there's nothing to help the Queens until the next wave spawns.
Oh god, yeah, that one Queen has a couple of transfuse, but finally she uses it. Yeah.
The importance of 2 Marines in this can't be understated. The medevac going down means this attack will come to an end. But 2 to 4 Marines is sometimes the difference of Queens not even dying. Like you'll see this attack get so hardcore deflected, it's not even funny. But if enough Queens go down, then the Liberator ends up reigning supreme. Unfortunately, though, I do not believe enough Queens went down for this.
Yeah, you know, it cut him real hard in the drone count. He had to make a lot of Queens, then whatever else went into, like, Ling production. But Queen's still alive, dealing with the Liberator, dealing with the Banshee.
I was going to say, the Banshee follow-up to this is really unexpected, but the thing is, with all of these Queens now all, like, less than half health, that Banshee might get, like, a quad kill on Queens.
It would be great if it did, but it's, well, that would be ByuL's mistake to let happen, basically. So he cleans up the Hellions. You know, this could have been bad too, because like if you really start getting distracted, you try and do like a lot of drones. You don't have the Lings clean up the Hellions, and the Hellions kill the drones you just made. Like, it's a whole thing, right? But ByuL had enough, chased him off, got a lot of drones, so he's up to 50s, which is nicer. I guess his lair, like, it only feels late, I think, because he has nothing else going for him, like no illusion chambers, and finally only just now a Roachworn, but his economy is back to standard.
We're talking a lot about SpeCial for this game, and like 3rd CC on location, whatever back at home for him. What's kind of cool though is ByuL now in 3 games has shown us just how good he is at deflecting really tough aggression. That attack on a SpeCial, that looked like it was handled like it was a joke, right? Like ByuL just sits there and takes the punch. But realistically, stopping that from doing any drone damage, keeping it from killing all the Queens, there's a very small amount of players who can actually pull that off so cleanly. Because let's not forget, the Lings came late.
One of the things you see on Abyssal Reef too, I feel, when the Hellbat attack really works, is that the Zerg player had 4. Okay, well this is a ByuL special. The Zerg player has like 4 queens on the low ground spreading creep in a like choke, and like the Hellbats just like literally run up to them. Like at least ByuL had his on the high ground, like ready on creep, right? But as this is the ByuL special, it's kind of a cool little thing. It looks so stupid. Like these could be spreading creep spread, but actually if there was a swap over to like, you know, reactors on barracks and all that, there wouldn't be a lot to chase it out, but it's mech, and he's getting quadruple cyclones to help.
I'm actually getting a little bit tight in the pants right now, realizing that it is in fact going to be mech.
He's filling your belly.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, it was like kind of like wondering if it was just because when you go for a Hellbat build, there are some players where they're like, Hellbats? Maybe. Obviously, there's other players who are like, Hellbats don't even bother guessing about mech. It's obviously bio, but maybe just one of those guys that is like, he does play mech occasionally. So, that's what he chooses to do. Cleans up these queens, and that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, loses the Banshee for it.
You,
oh, and the Raven.
You went special, right?
Say major?
Yeah. That's going to be such a pain to do for both of us, man. Like, I think the thing is, we've all consolidated to calling him major because he had so many different names. It was just the constant, but this is definitely one he wants pushed as special, guys. In the past, we've asked, like,
I mean,
do you want us to call you Altaria? Do you want us to call us blank? And he said no, that, like, didn't care. This time he actually wants to be known as special, so we'll do our best. Tack comes in, though, and the thing is, he's got +1 on the Cyclones. +1 on the Hellbats is really not a big deal. That's a who cares, really. But the +1 on the Cyclones means any roaches, not the Ravagers, but the roaches would just get absolutely shreked by them.
This is nice Ling counterattack. Of course, Hellions will help out a lot with the Lings, but not so much the roaches. I didn't even see these skedaddle on over here. Is there enough at home, though? I mean, that's only 5 roaches, but he's, you know, at a very difficult time. Oh, actually doing so much damage. Never mind. Oh, geez.
Yeah, this is back to the 4th. If the 4th CC wasn't here, this wouldn't be so scary, but ByuL's a little bit supply blocked, a bit of damage done on the other side of the map, and now it looks like Special's going to try and come home. Cancels the CC, starts it elsewhere, I guess, or hasn't started
Not yet. Yeah, this is actually such a this is trouble. You know, he lost the Hellions, he lost so many SCVs, the mining time, the 4th CC, and he's even going to maybe lose a couple of Hellbats. I mean, same cost as Hellions, right? But still, like, he's losing all of the armies trying to reinforce to clean this up, and he's still not cleaning it up.
You know, I know they made the bonus damage on the Viking versus Mechanical specifically because of balance reasons. But it's clear to me now it makes no sense. It should just be versus armored. Like, when you got like screws that unscrew the bolts on your opponent, you shoot them in.
Yes. Yes. Alright, so this is kind of a problem. Special took a roundabout way to get back home, so ByuL was able to get up into that high ground without any trouble. You know, he's already in the mineral line by the time that Special was really reacting with his army, and maybe he cleans this up. He took so much damage.
Well, so that's the thing. He was and is heavily outnumbered, but I just want to note how quickly the roaches went down as soon as even just 4 Cyclones got on them. Tank shots here and there too, but I mean, for the most part, the Ravagers are the biggest issue here. GG.
ByuL not phased.
No. But a really aggressive and really scary attack out of Special deflected is not for me like disappointment in Special, but just more impressed with ByuL. I mean, I'm sad that we still haven't been able to find ByuL a team. It's worth noting, like, we're not going out of our way to like send emails and sponsorship or like, hey, pick up this player. But it is the setup we have with these players is like, if somebody approaches them, we encourage them to take the offer. Like, if I'm going to pick a hypothetical team here, right? My Insanity is picking up, like, all these people said, hey, ByuL, come to us. Like, we don't have an end of contract thing. We don't say, like, oh, you got to wait the month out. Like, the second you get the offer, take it is what we're saying to these folks. And the money we pay them for their monthly salaries is low, but it's also more than enough to help them sustain, like, their time to look for a team. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that you start seeing really good plays come out of ByuL. I'd be absolutely devastated and sad when he finally leaves. But at the same time, I'll be really happy if he can find a good team to be with. Same with Special in this instance.
Be happy that he's moving on to a better life. Oh, Ryan.
All right, well, this might be the last game in the series. I certainly hope it's not. Game 4, with Special now in his last life, has to kick back, fight back hard, because if ByuL wins this, then it's all over. We're up to a total of $648 raised on the prize today, which is really awesome to see. If you guys haven't, and we haven't, I don't know if there's any codes left, but I hope there are, and if there's not, even better. But go to the Matcherino page, type !Matcherino in chat, and use the coupon code LFT to add $1 to the prize pool.
Just want to check it again. Just, I like how you kind of fit it in her silhouette too. You know, like.
Oh, my awesome
beautiful.
text.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I do want to also note, while we've been talking about a million other things, if it weren't for Twitch, we wouldn't be able to pay these players. For those who don't know, and I can't disclose super great details about it, Twitch gave us money to run events and do specifically, and I quote, StarCraft-related things. So this show match, for example, the funding for this, the base funding of like $500, that comes from Combination Matcherino, but mostly from Twitch. And without that money, we wouldn't be able to do awesome stuff like this. So if you guys really want to consider helping us out, subscribing on the channel, cheering with bits, anything that helps both us and Twitch out goes a long, long way, guys. So watching commercials, again, cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel. Yeah, that's how you support all of these sort of events and keep these things going. But for the fourth and hopefully not last time today, in the upper left, we've got the Blue Terran SpeCial.
In the bottom right is the red Zerg. It is ByuL.
Now 3 racks again. This for me is kind of interesting to see, because I don't know that Odyssey is the map for it when it's not proxied, but it's worth noting that Game 2 really made me think, more so than Game 1, that you can do this as an opener, kind of like old school Maru would do a 2 racks Marine opener, right, every single game, whereas for everyone else it was cheese. For SpeCial, this may be the case, where he's trying to make this part of his just opening. It says, look, no matter how good or bad this goes, my opponent's forced to make a lot of drones, or sorry, lings over drones. And if a Zerg player can't be greedy, then he can play beyond that. Or maybe it's just that these have been failures all through and through.
Yeah, I mean, the Maru thing is kind of a throwback, isn't it? It's been a long time, and we don't get to cast Maru, so it's like, if you don't watch the Korean leagues, the GSL and SSL, like, you don't see them.
It's 3 racks in a different way. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was confused too. I was like, is he? Because you brought up 2 racks, and I was like, is he? Where is the 3rd racks? And it just went on location a little bit later, so it will look a little bit odd to ByuL, but it's just not, like, you wouldn't react really differently to 2 or 3 racks. You know, it's not like, if he proxies 5 barracks, obviously you react to that differently. But if it's 2 or 3 in the Reapers back at home, then okay, who cares? What's the difference? He'll of course see it. You know, they're building Reapers, not Marines. You can send the overload whatever you want. But yeah, the Maru thing was a throwback, and certainly it can be an opener. It's like, you know, Maru was the only guy that could do it. So for 3 racks Reaper, it seems like Yun's the only guy that can make that an opener, and not just a cheese. SpeCial's trying, but it hasn't worked so far. They're quite far off creep, but just not enough of a follow-up. Ling speed's almost done. ByuL did open up off that 1 base gas and pool, so pretty quick.
Poking in. I mean, I guess for me, the way I look at this most, because maybe it's mech again, maybe it's not. It's very clear that SpeCial can pull off both strategies if he needs to. Not through this series, obviously, but through past iterations of casting him. Is he going to dedicate so much to the Reapers that everything's delayed again, though? Like, right now, he's got the gas and he's got the money. He can start a factory. He doesn't have to make this continue through, but him taking Ling fights like this might make him say, you know what? Let's keep on the Reaper pressure. This is actually working better than before, better than ever. Maybe this will be worthwhile this time.
Yeah, that was scary for both parties, but I was, like, more scared for SpeCial. They managed to make it work, but the Lings are still catching his reinforcements, or trying to. Not quite getting it. Now they might start trying to attack and leave the reinforcements at home. SpeCial did not go for a faster factory, went for a 3rd CC. So a little bit of a change up from the first 2 games of the day. ByuL goes for a very quick illusion chamber. I don't think he's done this before. I mean, he went for those overlord drops, but even then that was, I think, a 3rd base situation. So is he gonna Ling drop a Terran? It is just a really fast +1. Yeah, okay. Well, the depots are down. There's not a lot of Lings. Oh, but I was going to say, there are a lot more on the way, and if, like, that Ling and man just stands off this fighter, that would have been really scary. Lift them. Lift them. Lift them. No.
No.
Yeah, ByuL might actually go for it. I would say that getting an almost around with Tech Lab would kind of be worth it. But he's waiting. Let's go pounce. If you kill the Reapers, he could maybe break down the wall anyways.
Yeah, there's only gonna be like a handful of Marines to stop. Well, I guess SCVs could always just repair forever though.
Yeah, that's true.
He would. He
There's
would
no
though,
banelings,
if he
so.
kills the Reapers, he could get stim though, and that's a bigger deal because that is on the outside of the
Right.
wall.
Yeah, exactly. That might be worth going after. Luckily, these Reapers didn't instantly die, despite that like really cool surprise tactic from ByuL. They instantly die. He's right on the stim that's already being canceled. But they bought a lot of time, and now there's like a few more Marines. I guess some ByuL's not gonna go for it. Third base on the way. Finally getting a lot of drones in here, and he's gonna have such a fast +1 carapace. I mean, eventually SpeCial will catch up because he has 2 engineering bays. But there's not enough Marines.
Devastating.
I mean, he'd have to lower his supply. He was in repair, which he was so close to having enough Marines to safely do, I think.
So this actually just comes down to a matter of prioritizing. If the Tech Lab were here and the other reactor were out here, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of. I think that was just convenient for him. That kind of sucks. That was 70% done. That's a lot.
It was close. XP2304 says, so SpeCial's the new teammate? Yes, SpeCial is the second member joining LFT. All we gotta do is get a Protoss, then we can get some sort of like really awesome. If we did pick up a Protoss, we can't, right? We don't have the budget. We straight up just don't have the money. But if we could pick up a Protoss, we could have like some sick like versus splice battles or something because they also have Terrans with Protoss.
Yeah, I mean they took every single.
We'll get Hero to like Merc over or something, right? Like.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
That would be so sick.
SpeCial.
I wonder if they'd be down for that.
Merc root.
Have like Hero come in as like a mercenary or whatever, right? But do like basically a clan war more or less. Splice versus. I'll poke their manager and see if they'd be up for that sometime. That'd be kind of fun, I think. I think our terrain will probably get stomped, but I think it'd be cool.
I don't know, actually. I mean, Solar did just beat ByuL.
Yeah.
TY can probably beat SpeCial, but yeah, whatever. It can happen.
But Hero,
anyways,
if we could convince Hero, he could save all of us.
Could he beat Stats?
Hmm?
Could he beat Stats?
That's a tough call. That alone would be a good
Yeah.
show match, I think. Hero versus Stats.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure.
Ooh, that sounds like maybe that should be the next project. Forget what I just said. Hero and Stats alone would be a good extended series.
Yeah. So it looks like SpeCial Sim is going to finish up. I mean, still not with 1-1, but at least it wasn't. It could have been worse, I guess. Combat Chill's on the way, and he's applying pressure where he can. He also went for 3 CC, so, I mean, his economy at least hasn't been stalled out. If he was on 2 bases, Anderson got delayed, so he wasn't dropping. Like, this would just be so much momentum for ByuL. But cleans up the Liberator, has his Link counterattack ready to go, as always.
That Liberator did get 8 drones, though. That was actually pretty nice, considering how bad his worker damage done has been through this series. But I'm actually really worried. Having taken this gold, like, okay, yes, transfer workers over, income spikes up, fantastic. Downside, this spreads ByuL really thin, and trying to keep up with a Terran player dropping north, attacking south, like, this could get bad for him.
I just got some serious deja vu and worried that we played the same map twice. It's like happened exactly on Ascension to Ire, right?
Ascension to Ire, Sequencer, Abyssal.
Yeah, well, Sequencer to Ire, he had like the 2 Wintermines Burrow.
Whoa. Whoa, he just gets in there and immediately picks off the Ravagers. Nice focus fire.
That usually is pretty good, but it's... Yeah, okay, actually, no, that might just be straight up good. I was a little bit worried, right, because ByuL was moving his way across the map, that maybe if he was reinforcing with a ton of Lings, he'd actually just continue attacking. And he is going to continue attacking.
I'm like 50-50 on this. Like, having this many Ravagers might not be too bad in terms of having more damage, but I do feel like they're significantly weaker than Roaches. Marines don't really care whether they're armored or not.
This is... I'm actually not sure what to call this. I mean, they're equal upgrades here. Equal upgrades, and SpeCial is going to have better upgrades if this doesn't do a lot of damage. So, that's a little bit worrying. His bio with tanks on the way out, too, would get better and better. Yeah, I think this is the right choice, especially with the tanks. And I mean, the kill on the Ravagers forced him to make more. That was a pretty important delay. ByuL's gonna try and make this work. He's maxing out. He's rallying.
It's tough because Ravagers and Roaches can sometimes just be this amazing brute force composition, but the tanks left unguarded. This is a problem. That could have taken out so many more of the Roaches. Once all the Roaches go down, the Ravagers are nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he got a few shots. Could have been worse. It's on the low ground too. Trying to do its best, does get Corsair ByuL down. There's not many Roaches left over, a lot of Ravagers instead, but there's just not a lot of army for special. Where is it, actually? Like, the numbers are telling a different tale, but it's just not here.
Well, some of it's up here, and he's going to push in with it, but this is what I was saying. We kind of started watching, like, 5 Marines start killing all the Ravagers, and that's the thing. Like, Roaches are beefy and chunky enough to take those hits. Ravagers really are not.
If he could get the 4th base, that'd be pretty good. I mean, ByuL's already so late to his upgrades, but not going to get the gold base. ByuL could transfer the drones over there once it's cleaned up for sure.
It was only 7 SCVs that died for this. Trading army for army, I don't know favors a Roach Ravager player like this because a lot of the Roaches and Ravagers went down.
It's kind of questionable. Like, as I keep talking about the upgrades, right? It's going to be 2-2 versus just 2-0. The tank's going to be starting to grow in numbers again. They're going to have +1. I mean, really, like, the Terran army gets better and better, and you know, the Roach army just keeps on maxing out. That is the dynamic until someone tries to tech away or the Terran player gets a good enough army. But 40 army supply might still be enough, especially the snipes, these tanks that he split. They are kind of left alone.
That's the problem. The bio, like, they take a different fight altogether. Those tanks were so necessary to making this work, but he's getting a lot of damage done. The trades aren't bad. The 2-2 on the bio starting to chew through the lack of Carapace upgrades here on this army, and the Zerg player starts falling apart.
Yeah. I really feel like, so tanks seem so useless, right? Because you have 4 of them and they all get Corsair ByuL down only after like 1 shot, and you're like, well, how useful were they? The fact that they got like a decent number of shots, like 4+, I feel like is a real game changer. You know, that's when the upgrades start actually getting the last couple shots in on the Roaches and Ravagers, and they actually go down really quickly. This is dangerous, but probably worth it. He's got to take advantage of this time, and he's got to drop real quick.
And he's 100% aware. There's no chance. There's 0 chance there's Mutalisks after the dedication to Ravagers and Roaches this game. Almost 100 Roaches have died this game. 94.
Yeah, and he played it pretty safe, too. Like, he unloaded not on a hatchery or in a main base, right? So the Queens are going to go to snipe out either. That's going to be a 5th base going down.
If he defends the flex and continues to attack with this drop, this might be where he just gets ahead. Cutting on the other side of the map, Marauders are pretty freaking good when you've got this many of them. Medevac support's there, too. Picks up, goes to the main, kills the base. It's looking better and better for SpeCial, but he's not won this game just yet.
It is looking really good, though. He's got +3 on the way, 4th base on the way. He's actually, I think he's in a good enough position unless he just gets absolutely surrounded or something like that. And ByuL is going for Tunneling Claws, trying to give himself options for more than just a numbers game.
The burrow tactics are kind of funny, actually, watching come into play here. That actually would have saved all the drones, but then SpeCial would be happy just getting the hatchery or really, literally anything else.
Yeah, I mean, the hatchery's so good.
The Tunneling Claws, though, we haven't really seen this in competitive play yet, but it is worth noting that in the patch, they did make them more noticeable, so it's not, like, impossible to see Roaches burrowed.
That's true. I haven't played since then, so I don't know how much noticeable it is.
It's, I guess, how to phrase it. Instead of watching, like, a Dark Templar move through Cloak, it's more like watching, like, a Carrier cloaked in a Mothership Core. Like, it's a bigger blur, if that makes sense. I'm being a little too
it does make sense. Yeah, well, you use the right one. It's funny to think of like a carrier-sized blur. It's like a single roach. Okay, well, we might just see it. We might even see, you know, SpeCial actually see it too. Like, he hasn't thrown any missile turrets, so there's no automatic detection. But if you really can't see it that much better, then I'm sure he's one of the guys that can. Just trying to get a lot of drops in. As you said, there's no Mutas, there's no Hydralisk. The Queens can only do so much.
You know what?
The fact that ByuL lets this actually move across the map without doing anything is already pretty bad.
So draw back to the gold base. Well, normally this is a great thing. That's going to be mining out really quick. This base in the bottom left is actually very, very important to ByuL. Losing control of this sucks. And with this many tanks up, there's no way he should be able to hold on to this. Upgrades have been lackluster as too. Carapace is only about halfway done for this fight. Meanwhile, SpeCial's on +3 weapons. He should tear through these Roaches.
Yeah. Yeah, he should. I was going to say, the Corsair ByuL is a little late.
Yo, there's so many more tanks that are not involved with this fight, and look how well that goes for him. I mean, that was bad not to involve the tanks, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, this is like one of the ways that maybe something could happen, but there was a missile turret put down to the third base, so only a couple of these roaches got through. 16 drones died. Maybe ByuL could get like a handful of SCVs, but it's still 4 CCs, so they shouldn't be too hard to remake.
It's funny, he chases the roaches that were going to the planetary and leaves the other ones contested. Feels bad, man. Go ahead, so if you guys want to see what that looks like, I was looking at it a bit earlier. Can't do it now because of the scam, but it is so much more noticeable. Here we go. Look at the tanks. Oh god. If he was looking, he'd see it, but this is gonna be a surprise attack for sure.
This is not, I mean, this definitely deals with the tank numbers, but the thing is the bio is also very strong at this point with those upgrades.
Oh yeah, the bio without a question is what's winning the game. The tanks weren't involved with the majority of those fights, right? We got infestors coming out, and the fungal growths might start helping level this out, but I don't know. Not if you got no Ravagers. Okay, so SpeCial actually takes the game. Won't go down quite so easily, but that was still not like the easiest game for him. Like ByuL puts up a crazy fight even when he's fighting with like an ineffective army.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. It was like it's becoming increasingly ineffective. So that one shot maybe worked, and maybe had he not target fired those Ravagers, so they didn't have to make more, maybe that could have been the difference, or maybe it just simply was about these tanks not going down fast enough. Like it really is to me so crazy how the difference of like, you know, 1 tank shot versus 3 tank shots can be, but that is like when bio really kills things.
Yeah, especially with the splash damage coming into effect, right?
Yeah. Whew.
Well, folks, we're going to go a quick commercial break. 2 minutes. When we're back, we'll get to game number 4. No. 5. Yeah, 3-1. ByuL needs a minute anyway, so this works out nicely, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Hey, folks, welcome back. We are in the lobby for Defender's Landing. It did take ByuL a little bit longer than expected, so sorry for that hanging break, but we are getting into game now, as the countdown, you can hear, has begun. Therminator says he needs an adult. By the way, guys, I do want to note that we have unfortunately been missing all the subs. We'll do a big round of shout-outs once the show match is done today. But big thank you to Tenshi. Just set us up with a host. Hope your cast went well. I know Major was playing in that event. That's why we almost had to cancel today, awkwardly. Luckily, we did not. But Major, SpeCial, whatever you want to know him as, we do know that he wants to go forward as the blue Terran player, SpeCial.
In the bottom left, as the red Zerg, it is ByuL.
Oh my god. If I were a pro player, I would name myself, like if I played Protoss, right? I would name myself like the red Protoss or the blue Protoss. Can you imagine intros? It's like, in the bottom left, it's the red Zerg player, the red Protoss.
See, I was going to say at that point, I'd just be like, it's the red Protoss and leave it at that. But what if they choose blue?
Even better. Even better.
Screw me up, man. It's screw me up. All right, so no 3 racks. Defender's Landing can actually, like, it's funny. Like, Zerg is usually the one that is the most concerned about. Well, that's not necessarily true. Well, I would say that Terran, at least in my experience, is the least concerned about, like, being rushed, right? Like, we have supply depots already. Our Reaper's pretty good against some of the things early game. Like, it's okay, like, early game defense, right? But I feel like in Defender's Landing, it actually makes me very scared of Zerg. So, and usually it's a Zerg who's kind of like, okay, what are they doing early game? You know, like, they're going through X Reaper. Are they going to, like, get Hellions instantly over here? Like, oh my god, the strong rally push is going to be great.
Actually, it's interesting you bring that up because, I guess this is also not a map you could really do the 3x Reaper builds on at all. Like, not the way SpeCial's been doing them, at least. Like, that's either committing to the proxy and trying to take advantage of the openings yourself, or you just kind of leave 2 big holes and are screwed back at home. Ace Lude.
Yeah, of course there is the 2 openings that can complicate things. Say more so for Protoss, but definitely for Terran. And against a guy like ByuL, always has those attacks ready to go. It also, like, you know, if you're not going to go for your own early pressure, if you're not the one starting off with the 3x Reaper, then you do have to take into account that Zergs also can do things earlier on, right? Like roaches and those early pools that send the Lings over, which is exactly what ByuL is doing, and honestly should be expected by Terran players on this map. So SpeCial going for a Marine. Unfortunately, it's going to be for the Overlord this time. but it'll reduce the amount of time the SCV is off the command center against the Lings too. So that's, you know, it's still a good choice. Actually, just it completely denies it. That SCV spent like half a second off of it.
Right. Whoa,
It's always a little bit risky. Yeah, I thought you did it on purpose. That was really weird. Oh, I see Marine. I was gonna say it's a little bit risky because you don't know if they send over 2 or 6 Lings. You know, sometimes they do send over more than 2, but that ended up being pretty perfect. So now I'm just gonna get a scout, and ByuL is going for right now just speed and pull Lings and supply blocks. I thought you were better than this, ByuL. It's a pretty harsh supply block. Everyone point and stare.
He's like not fixing it either. The drone's getting slowed down by the queen. Feels bad,
It's taking so long. That's actually really bad. All right, so there are more than just 4 Lings coming back from Drew here. The Reaper barely got a glimpse of it, but luckily the factory opener, the Hellions, take care of this easy peasy. Still might just be worth, you know, especially if he doesn't lose these Lings, to deny the mining time. He denies SCV production, and he killed 2 SCVs. So probably worth for ByuL.
This really does screw with the opening here, though, because I think what's worse behind all this, like, there shouldn't be any pressure, there shouldn't be any delays, and this is supposed to be an easy peasy push for our Terran, you know? But every little bit counts, and this has got to be super annoying. 2 Hellions being lost, possibly to these Lings. Well, that's a really great shot, actually. Where's that medevac when you need it? Can't swoop them, can't save them. A lot of Hellions. I mean, 2 Hellions doesn't seem like a lot, but this takes all the wind out of your sails if you were planning to go for an attack. Like, at this point, don't even put an armory down.
Yeah, kind of, you know, like
it's
pretty late.
Wait, okay, that didn't get scouted. I thought for sure that was in plain sight of the Lings.
I was gonna say, like, hopefully it wasn't. That's okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, it feels like a little bit later of an armory, so he's gonna be able to have 6 Hellions again. But you're right. Like, actually killing, you know, reducing that Hellion count down, it does just take away a lot of the power of not just armory builds, right? Like Hellbound attacks, but it also just is like, you don't feel nearly as confident moving out on the map with 2 Hellions as you do with 4 or, you know, 6. So he's successfully denying further vision on that armory. No, let's see.
No, vision of the armory not gonna be as big of a deal. I feel it ended up being Hellion drop. Sorry, I was watching the Overlord. My bad. Comes over to the base though, catches ByuL a little off guard. So 5 drones isn't too shabby, and I like this so much more. The armory finishes up, but I guess it's not going to be for Hellbat. It's not initially, at least. It might just be because he wants to go down the path of mech.
Yeah, you know, Hellbat's now an option, not a commitment.
More Hellions sitting down to the bottom right. The scary thing about Hellbat's like this, though, this is actually accompanied with a Raven. The Lings aren't going to be a problem. The problem usually is that Queen. So that's where the auto turret ends up fighting off the Queen, giving Hellbats free time to kill drones. And most notably, you can actually kill a hatchery in pretty quick timing. The fact that he's hit for like 18 damage a shot.
Yeah. It's got to be a little bit careful about this. SpeCial has a 3rd CC, another Raven, and in fact is upgraded from the armory. So it's going to be mech again. But ByuL maybe figuring this out. It's going to change up tactics. I mean, he went for... Oh, what did he do in that mech game? I just remember him running into the base, right? So he was aggressive with his roaches in a lot of these games. But maybe going for like a couple of drops too.
What was happening, if I recall correctly, was he was also getting the Hydralisk stand down. But SpeCial was dead before that even came into play. And right now, Hydras are in a weird spot versus mech. Like, I still think at the end of the day, we've seen it before. We know it to be true. Like, Swarm Hosts are probably the best way to go every single time.
Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about Swarm Hosts when we cast non-Europeans. Interesting. So
also forget about Swarm Hosts.
There is more than one Overlord drop made now, I think. Yeah, there's 2. So this does feel very familiar to that Abyssal Reef push.
Ooh. That's cool. Cuts out 4 of the Queens in the map with the auto turrets. Catches them all right down the center.
That was probably supposed to go in the Overlord, right?
Well, I mean, these ones are still going to be on the way. Yeah, but having lost 4 Queens is a little bit of damage before transfuses, right? The bunker's funny to see because why? There's no bio to go in it. Really? Just the 1 Marine? Okay.
Fake. Soaked up shot, man.
Banshee can get a lot done, but only until the Queens come into play. This is such a weird push out of ByuL, but it might kill SpeCial before the Cyclones can get high enough a number to defend him.
It's close. You know, like it's hitting, like whether it's mech or bio, this type of push actually hits right before your production's quite ready to go. And I wonder which is better, having bio or mech at this point in time, but it's mech right now. The Hellbats on top of the roaches and they're all grouped up like this actually aren't so bad. I mean, the Lings are barely even worth talking about, right?
Whoa, and this is where the cyclists 4 at a time start coming into play. Let's also not forget that the Banshees, there's another one that's popped in the main. He's not using it right now, but that can help clean this up pretty easily. I think this defense and deflection is huge, though, because for those who aren't aware, ByuL was absolutely all in with this.
GG.
All right, well, SpeCial fighting back. It's 3-2 now, and I know some people in chat are like accusing ByuL of like pulling his punches. I really don't think that's the case. Like, mech is just not really seen ever, and I think there's just an unideal engagement on top of that. Like, there's a lot of reasons, like actual reasons why this is going the way it is. But we are probably going to head off to a quick commercial break before we get to this next game. Quick reminder to check out the Match Arena page. If you guys want to throw some bucks towards the players, it's the best way to do it. We're at $649. For God's sake, at least somebody add $1 just to even out that prize pool, because my OCD is flaring the fuck up looking at that right now. We also have the code LFT. If it hasn't been used up, you can add $1 to the prize pool for free through that. It is worth noting, though, that as I said earlier and as outlined in the description, $600 gets split 50-50 between the players. Any additional funding above $600, so like, for example, this extra 50, half of that's going to get split between the players. The other half is going to go towards the mega tournament fundraiser. But we'll talk more on that in a bit. Quick commercial break. Let's get it out of the way, and we'll see you guys for the next game in just a moment. All right, folks, we're back. We're just waiting for the players. ByuL not ready just yet, but I gotta give a big special thank you to all the folks who helped just make the prize pool 666. But more notably, we had a donation troll come into the fray. Some Terminator kid I've never heard of, or will never hear from again. Donated $10.64. Thank you very much for that contribution to the prize pool. Then XP2304 is, in fact, the hero that we need, because he balances us out with $1.36 to make it even. Oh, Terminator. Why did you pick 64? What was... like? Is that like a Fear Dragon comeback?
He loves Nintendo.
I just picked a random number.
No, well, there you go. And then he does it again. Fuck. $5.99 coming in from Terminator. Oh, and $5 coming from Alice. Dude, A1 Lass, however I pronounce your name, that I've been pronouncing incorrectly for God knows how long. Thank you so much for that contribution. And the guy I'm teasing on the call, Terminator, he's been a big time supporter, long time fan of the channel, guys. He's currently time-outable, which I rather enjoy. But yeah, thanks again for joining us, Terminator. Hope you're enjoying the show from your side. But without further ado, in the top right, he's brought it back 2 games. He still has 2 to go. It's the Blue Terran SpeCial.
In the bottom left, as the red Zerg, it is ByuL.
Okay, is it officially Alis? Is that we have no delay for once, right? Like, is that how I pronounce it? Alis? I should learn this. This is like years into our quote-unquote relationship at this point.
Alas.
Maybe it's AI-less?
That's what he says it is, but that doesn't help me pronounce it anymore.
No, but I mean, like, is it like AI?
Oh, it's
like
pronounced AI.
He's the artificial intelligence LS.
Wait, what did he say yes to?
I think he said yes to Alis. So
Okay.
we're going to go with Alis.
Alis.
That sounded a little bit Scottish when I said it.
It really did. So we have multiple barracks coming in on Proxima.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this, but what's funny, it might work because ByuL didn't take the pocket base first. To note, like, a big part of why this gets shut down is like a couple of queens at the ramp means Reapers never really go anywhere. But the base being taken out here initially, to be taken forward like this actually creates a weak spot.
It's kind of a funny dynamic, though, because for the time that the queens aren't plentiful, they can't stop the Reapers from going up the ramp if they had taken the pocket base. But once they are, then obviously, like, Reapers can't get up the freaking ramp because it's Proxima Station. On the flip side, initially, it's, like, more vulnerable to have that hatchery out and about. But as the time goes on, then you have the creep spread going, and it's a little bit easier. I don't think that, like, it's very, like, it's like tiny nuances. I think the point is like ByuL has shown that he's fine against Reapers, and regardless of the map, I think he's gonna be fine. Yeah. Unless we brought back, oh man, Orbital Shipyard. Is that what it was? No, that wasn't what it was. It was like along with Dusk Towers for a while, right? Like the other macro map.
I can't remember the name for the life of me, but I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, hopefully all the chat does too. Anyways, Spinecrawler actually coming down here. Something he hasn't had to do before. But he also, like, I mean, to note, like, not only does he put his hatchery out here, but I think he also went for, well, yeah, actually, he went for a third hatchery already, right? So his speed is a lot more delayed than some other games.
Yeah, and I don't feel like ByuL is playing incorrectly here. This is the last map you expect a proxy to come down on because of the layout of said map. Like, this is actually a little bit surprising to see. So for SpeCial, it's about what can you get done. Now, Spinecrawler's got a lot of base armor for those who don't know, so with 2, it's not going to take much damage from the auto attacks. It's going to have to rely on the grenades poking and prodding. And I don't think that's going to cut it. Queens will have a lot of time for transfuses. There's no back door to hop into through this either. He has to attack through the front. Yeah. So the nice thing for ByuL is he knows exactly which direction the attack's coming from.
This has really not done a lot. You know, like ByuL not only had like later speed in this game than 1 or 2 others, and had to invest into a Spinecrawler.
Oh, shit.
But like he got that super fast third, and he didn't have to make any more lings to deal with this.
Yo, I don't know who Allura is. Allure? They just added a combination of $50 and then $28.10. There's a lot of cent value donation trolls going on because Sasha Esport also just donated $4.67 to the prize pool. I'm doing like a face right now.
I mean, why'd you mention it?
But that brings the total prize up to $754.76. That is phenomenal. We put $800 as a bit of a real stretch goal. I didn't think we come close to getting it. We're almost there. Now, granted, this might be the last game of the day, so I don't know if we'll hit it or not, but that's really sick. So thank you very much to Allure. I see you in chat. It says,
That is pretty cool. Very Odyssey special send a Reaper back here.
No, it's Proxima Station.
So?
Not Odyssey.
Oh, I was like, it's actually going somewhere.
Good eye, mate.
I remember the first I feel like everyone who played the Proxima when it first was released, like the very, very first time, right? Everyone checked physically with like a Reaper or a Ling or something if like the back was actually like something you could hop up on. Yeah. And they were like, oh, it's not. Right? Like it's actually not something you can do. And there's very, very unlikely that ByuL is breaking down the rocks. Although if I guess it's a chance that, you know, SpeCial thinks he's feeling too contained and wants to try and get around. But ByuL isn't trying to get around anything. I mean, for a guy that usually has lings out in the map ready set up and, you know, to attack, he's actually just been droning the entire time.
Yeah, and he's been afforded that opportunity so much to the Spinecrawler. Like 9 times out of 10 on other Reaper maps where this happens, you can't rely on the Spinecrawler to defend you. This map, you absolutely can, which is kind of cool to see. Also, kind of cool to see is my new personal hero, XP2304. $4.24 evens out that prize pool once again. Nice and smooth. Thank you, baby.
If you guys could actually leave it smooth, that'd be great. The math is gonna suck later.
Oh yeah, because I'm just gonna have to deal with the pants. Like, oh great, now we gotta find like, okay, the first place is 50.145%. Like,
no.
All right. Well, you know what? I guess the thing is, ByuL got away with a lot through this, but until just those last 2 Reapers, SpeCial didn't really lose anything either. In fact, only 1 Reaper died. Excuse me, math wrong. Good thing I'm not the one doing math later. But the point is, like, he also got to get away with a lot.
Yeah. Well, so you usually see a lot, and usually like really like greedy stuff, right? Which is actually not the case here. He got away with a lot, as in he got his production up so smoothly and so much of it that he's going to have pretty powerful armies from here on out. But is it powerful enough? I mean, ByuL might have gotten to 65 drones, but he also got, you know, enough time to also get this Ling army. So it's easily pick up.
That's a good pickup, too. These are slow banelings coming in the middle of the map. The Reapers can certainly grenade them down, but the Lings don't want to let that happen.
This isn't so great. This is pretty bad. I mean, for as much as his production was like getting ramped up, you know, it wasn't stalled or his stim wasn't delayed, SpeCial isn't really doing a lot with it. And his 3rd CC is only like a little bit halfway done.
I don't know why we have a donation war going on right now, but holy fucking guacamole. Trolley Terminator over here just threw in $69.69. I like. Then Akarasi, a name I haven't seen in a very long time. I hope you're well, sir. $50 goes in. Akarasi, for those who don't know, by the way, he gets a special shout out. Back in the day when we were getting DDoS, he hooked us up with a VPN. No more DDoS problems. Feels good, man. Then Blamiao just now with $6.73. We'll get to more of the donations in a moment, though, because the action is rising in a great spot behind the middle line. Secure SpeCial, a really good engagement. He's going to focus fire down the Banelings best he can, but he unfortunately has to pick up.
I'm going to try and kill him one more time. Okay. That was really good. That was going for something that was just not looking very good at all to suddenly taking out at least enough to make it worth it. Now, ByuL, I mean, ByuL might be down in army supply, but he's banking so much. He's going to be able to instantly make like 12 mutas and +1 really soon after that. Upgrades have been staying pretty even as well. In fact, ByuL even has a bit of an upgrade lead as they both went for single upgrade structures. But with the mutas, I mean, the mutas aren't going to be out quite yet. Does he have enough Ling and Banelings to hold on? Looks like it, because he also has creep spread.
Widowmines, you know, earlier on in the series, we're getting like 18 kills a shot. Not this time around, though.
Yeah, that's enough. No Overseer, which this is like second time, I guess. It seems to be like a Widowmine surviving way longer than I expect them to. And they might get a shot off a couple of these queens, but they got transfuses.
Yeah, it's funny watching Medivacs and Queens just transfuse and heal each other to death. But yo, nice focus fire from the Bane on top of the Banelings from that Widowmine. That was a targeted shot at a SpeCial, and I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. 2-2 is now on the way, so maybe SpeCial will come up with an upgrade lead. Very tiny, though. Gil's already got second illusion chamber. His mutas are finally out as well, and they're moving across the map, actually. Maybe a bit risky, but he seems to be holding, especially with the queen in the front lines, too.
There's no turrets. There's nothing here for defense. This is not risky at all. This is going to be a huge payoff with these mutas. Either SpeCial has to come all the way home, or he just loses all the SCVs.
Oh, this was such a difficult position. He really wasn't gaining any traction. Like, he was killing creep spread, but not enough of it. And there's too many Banelings. So he tries to go for a drop in the main, which at least he knows he could do. The mutas are obviously attacking him right now. But it's just, like, drops versus Zerd, the longer the game goes, just seems to never really be worth it, right? Like, you're just dropping on to creep, I guess. Even if they're a little bit late to the party, they still got really fast units. That's it.
GG. Ladies and gentlemen, ByuL will take this series 4-2. But I am so incredibly happy to let them know about the prize pool increase here at $891.23. That fucking 23 cents. That's awesome. And of course, because if you guys aren't familiar, the reason we really love working with Matcherino is not just because it's a little bit of hype through crowdfunding, and that's cool. They also will cover the percentage of the, I guess you call them the cost of doing business here. Normally, you're going to lose 10% to PayPal fees / websites taking some of the cut for themselves, and that $900 is a lot more like $600. But with Matcherino, they actually cover those costs, so the players get exactly the amount we tell them they're going to get. So, thank you to XP2304 for that nice little donation at the end. Sasha Esport hits us up, says, that guys, get your shit. We need a 66. That's harder than PUBG. Oh, I see. ByuL says, yes. GG's. ByuL wants to know if it's done. We'll talk about prize money later. But yeah, that's freaking awesome, guys. So I don't know if anyone's got a minute to round that out to like a nice even 900, which the Broncos have done today. But either way, thank you guys so much for joining us. I said we get around to shoutouts because we actually did like 0 sub shoutouts during this, not intentionally. It just kind of kept piling up further and further. So do you have the page open, or should I go do this?
Oh, I got the page open.
Okay, I gotta.
Do it.
I'm gonna explain to ByuL how to get the prize money and stuff. So do you wanna?
Let's do it. All right. I guess
starts
we'll go
at
through all of them.
Thomas 2K, I think is the note.
Oh, I was gonna go from top to bottom, but all right, cool. So thank you to Thomas 2K for the 28-month resub. Part 2 for the 40-month. That's right, we got that one. Bacon Hero for 5-month resub. Dating Rifkin. Bacon Hero donated bits. Thank you very much. Sasha Esports resubbed. Please, Rifkin tells you to sell me your Slayer's jacket. I'm trying since 3 years. That's never gonna happen. Why would you ever think that? Kilps31 resub Prime 8 months. Yay for no delay. Instant gratification. And then we said 11 minutes later, so perfect. Blah Meow resub for 2 months. Diocletian Zerg resubbed for 39 months. Damn. Harstum resubbed for 16 months. And Jugu Jugu 1 resubbed for 18 months just now. Sir Tendies plus Ace K equals Sargasm.
Great combination.
And that covers this everything up.
Yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for coming out to join us this morning. Thank you, XP2304. This is my new favorite, like, OCD hero. Like, I swear, I'm going to, and any time, like, we just have this really dumb, like, odd number, I'm just going to beg him. I'm going to PM him on Twitter, like, I need you. Like, it's the bat signal, like, save us. The hero we need, not the one we deserve, something like that. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, yeah, we're going to go talk with Major. I love, by the way, this... for SpeCial, for Major, however you want to know him, Juanito, really, really big here. He messages me and says, by the way, let's talk again. I want to make sure that I know exactly what I need to do while I'm on the team, so no miscommunication. I bring this up publicly because this is huge. Major has a history of, like, not working well on teams, and there's, like, always abrasiveness. He just reached out to me saying that. If that doesn't prove to anybody listening that he's changed a lot and he is taking this super seriously, I honestly don't know what will. So that's really cool to see. But yeah, I guess big thank you to Terminator for joining us, and thank you for that support behind the scenes, dude. We really do appreciate it, and you pumped up that prize pool in a pretty big way today.
I was glad to help.
Because I didn't know if you want to say anything or not. I was trying to open the floor. I guess it's worth, like, top 5 donors, you know, final shout out here, right? Terminator throwing in $87. Allura with 78. Accuracy with 50. The Way is Through with 18. And Laser Sec with $16 as well. I'll give you the floor, man. You want to do any shout outs of any variety before we take off? Mr. Number 1 donor?
Yeah, I'd just like to put a tweet out the other day, or yesterday, about the Screamer Alaris, or Alaris, however you pronounce her name.
Ali Rice, Annie, got it.
Yes, Annie. She did a really nice picture for me the other day.
Oh, is this Yoko from Gurren Lagann?
Yes. She's raising money for some trips throughout the year, and I helped her out with a $5 whatchamacallit, and yeah, she drew that for me.
Cool. Yeah, I just linked it in chat. That's not too bad. I know she does a lot of traveling and tries to go to all the events, so that's cool to see, man. Glad to see you're also enjoying the other quality streamers out there. But with that being said, oh, we got a $5 donation heading to BaseTradeTV at the end of the stream today. Thank you so much, Giggle Bear. Good luck, have fun. And, you know, Accuracy and Chastity appreciates what he was doing for, or what we were doing with LFT. And I really hope, like, I'm actually going to be heartbroken if at, like, the end of the day we can't actually help these guys get teams. But I feel like this doesn't hurt, and if anything could help. So my fingers are crossed that we can help these guys get really good teams. And I actually think SpeCial, not just because of his GSL run, but his, like, reformation, deserves the chance to prove it on a bigger, better team. Same with ByuL. Like, I want to see ByuL kick a lot of ass. He did so good in SSL, GSL. Like, he's out now, unfortunately, right? But he had a really good run over the last 3 months for Korean events, too. So I hope somebody's willing to look at him. But in the meantime, as long as we can afford it, I really don't mind sending him some support either.
Yep.
And you're in Korea. Now it's time to go get like 1 million selfies with him so we have some promo pictures.
Yeah, that's the thing I will do. Contact someone, go hang out with them, and then take a bunch of selfies with them.
Yeah, that sounds like a zombie group thing to do.
That's me.
Just gotta find a way to like instantly swap places because I don't want to travel. We just swap places for like a day. I'll take all the selfies, be done with it, swap back, go home, easy peasy.
It's the one thing you need for.
Teleporters will be invented one day. I know this is the whole like, do you die when you're in a Okay, this is getting off topic. Let's wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this show match today. If you haven't seen, and this is the really important topic for me, at the top of the stream, we have an events tab set up. BaseTradeTV or twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV/events if you need the URL. But the big thing about this is it has outlined everything we have for the next month. Now, some of these dates are subject to change, sure. As qualifiers and other events pop up, like we will have to move things around and adjust accordingly. But use that as a reference point to see what we're casting, when we're casting. And the best part is there's a little reminder feature on there too. It says remind me. So you know, hey, cool. An email came in an hour before the event. Now I'm not going to miss out on it. The next thing we have coming up, though, is a little bit odd because it's a tournament run by, I think it's a French guy, right?
Yeah, I think he's French.
I think the official name is like the Tournament of Legends or something like that.
Yes.
I actually don't have all the full info in front of me, but yeah. So Sunday and Monday, it's gonna be a 2-day event. It's gonna be quite a few good players involved with it, and should be a lot of good games to cast. So I think that starts European favor hours, so 10 a.m. Pacific.
Right. Yes, 10 a.m. Pacific Sunday.
Yeah. So make sure you guys come out and join us for that. The lack of confidence in your voice is making me shaky because I don't have confidence either.
Well, I'm trying to make sure I'm not converting, right? Because like the times are given to me, and I converted them to my time back at home first, and then right now I'm like making sure I did that correctly to Pacific, which I think I did.
5. You gotta like get like math flying everywhere, Rain Man styles. Okay, well, either way, it's Sunday, so just keep an eye out on Team Liquid. Come back to the channel, all this good stuff. The other thing I want to talk about is vodcasting. So I've been testing it, right? I said this on Nate's stream, and I still stand by it. I think community building is worth more than a couple of dollars earned through like whatever we would run through a vodcast. So I know some people are already like, are you guys planning to 24/7 rebroadcast stuff and blah blah blah? And the answer to that is flat, just no. We will be for this week continuing to vodcast things because I really want to keep testing it and seeing what the limitations are, what we can do with it. But vodcasting, to be perfectly clear, is just Twitch's rebrand of a rebroadcast. The nice thing is they don't do it for us. So before, I didn't have the capabilities, we didn't have the bandwidth, but it does clearly label something as a vodcast when it's not live. So expect to see more content like that. But I still think community building is bigger and better, and hosting other streamers and making friends with other people and forming those relationships, that benefits a lot in the long run. I know sometimes you guys really don't care if I host a streamer who's not doing StarCraft, like waifu jokes aside, right? But the thing is, a couple of their viewers will come back to our channel. We've actually had several subscribers come back from other channels, and it goes a long way. So sometimes we host StarCraft people, sometimes we don't host non-StarCraft people. But I think hosting is a powerful tool and a way better like long game than just simply rebroadcasting all the time. So yes, there will be rebroadcasts, or vodcasts as they're called, but not all the time, not always. There is a very deserving streamer streaming right now, by the way. I think we're going to hit up Hero Marine with a host. Stats is also streaming if you guys want to see some more Korean action, but we're going to definitely host Hero Marine. So give him some love. Thank you guys for watching today, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.